In this video, we are going to learn about log transformation and also inspect the data visually using box plot, density plots, etc. So first of all, why do we transform data? Well, as we'll see in different examples later and also in our program, transformation data is required for many reasons. One thing, it makes data symmetrical. If the data is skewed, our programs may not run very well. Statistics program may not run very well on skewed data, but it's symmetrical, they're a lot more friendlier. Also, many tools that we use in statistics, t-test, z-test, ANOVAs, regression, etc., most of them require the data be normally distributed. If they're not, we have to go through some other means like maybe non-parametric stuff or whatever. But typically, we expect them to be normally distributed. Also, if a set is nonlinear, we can do transformation and make them linear. And then we can use regression. Something you need to worry about is that once you transform the data and get the output has to be reversely transformed back into the original numbers or your interpretation will be off. Now, the transformation does not have to be log. It can be square root transformation. You can do all this stuff. But once you get the result, you need to reverse it back to the original data set, or the whole process is useless. So let's look at the first example here. So this is our data set, which is nonlinear. As you can see, it's a kind of curve going this way. When we transform it, it looks like this after log transformation. Now we can use a regression program on this one. That's the regression line actually. We have our slope, we have our intercept, everything is there, except that the scale is different. It's logged, so we have to reverse it. So in the next video, we're going to discuss interpretation of log transform data and also regression. Okay, so let's move on. Here is our data file, which we're going to use in R. So it's a growth of bacteria. Obviously, these are fake numbers. So bacteria grows, in the beginning it's kind of small, but becomes very large. After 200 minutes, let's say I've got 95,000 of them, little things. If I plot it, histogram, it looks really bad. It's a highly skewed with weird outliers. And this again is not too good to us for us in a normal statistics programs that we have. But if I do log transformation, which is what we have here, so you can use in Excel, you can use function ln. It's natural log, which basically means log base E. If I do log base E 8427, which is this number, I'll get this one, which is the same thing as ln, that number. And E is of course the constant. So once we do the transformation, when you plot it, it looks nice, symmetrical. Look at the histogram, really nice normal distribution here. And this we can use. We can do a t-test on it, we can do a regression, we can do ANOVAs. Once we get the result, we reverse transform it to predict, to interpret the results, what we get. Okay, so now we are going to go to RStudio. So here we are in RStudio. We have discussed all the windows and console, etc. before, so let's not spend time there. Quickly, this one will clear the environment, so everything from before is forgotten. We're setting the working directory as this one. That's what my file is. We're going to use an Excel file, so I'm going to read the library Excel, read Excel. If you do not know this one, go to the video I have called the Work with the Data Files or something like that. You can use that video to learn more about this stuff here. We're going to assign FFF to this data set, which actually is in sheet bacteria. Here's the file, here's the sheet bacteria, and here's the directory. If I do summary FFF, I get short summary. If I do names, I get the names of the columns. You do this simply to make sure that everything is good. So let's just run it. And you get the console output here. Now we're going to rename the columns. Why? Because they are too complicated to work with. Besides, you're all going to have to use FFF$ all the time. So rename it, these ones, run it, and I renamed it. Now remember, we are renaming the columns, the vectors, which you already have read. It will not change the file itself. I had to use $FFF here because Excel does not know, R does not know where this is coming from. When I say that, I say, okay, it's coming from the file. You want to avoid it, simply put attach FFF. If you do that, then you don't need to worry about this anymore. Once again, go back to that video with all the details that we have there. So now that we have these two columns, vectors, we're going to work with them now. So first of all, transform them into log. Once again, in R, this means base E, natural log, base E. So let's just do this part here, run it, and I will assign this one LB1 base E. And you can see in here environment, we know what the variables are. Our LB1 now is, these are LB1 numbers. Our M1 is of course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, these are minutes. And our B1 are the original dataset bacteria. And this is our log transformed. So this keeps track of it. If you clear it here or if you clean this one, they all vanish. That means the program does not know anything anymore. Okay, so now we're going to do visual inspection. So let's do, now this little command will create two windows here, so we can put two graphs. So let's run this one here. Now we got two windows. One we put the graphs here. Let's do the histogram of the original data file. Run it. There we are. And now transform the file. And there we are. As you can see that this one is very much normal and this one is nowhere near. When I say very much, this is pretty good normal for real life purposes. Now one more thing, which is inside you can put lots of commands, which I haven't put, to make things simpler. You can put, suppose, label the axis, x-axis, y-axis. You can change the colors. And all they do really is make things more complicated for us. Our purpose here right now to learn log transformation. So I'm going to avoid all that. But you can do your own experiments on these ones there. So this is highly skewed and this is pretty symmetric. Now let's look at the box plots. So when I do the box plots, again side box plot. Here's the first box plot and our second box plot. And this again is useless, totally meaningless to us. I mean, box itself is so small, and then of course all the outliers. Way too many outliers. This is nice. Now look here. 25th percentile, 75th percentile, median, and symmetric. Median is in the center, 25th, 75th. Then our numbers also again pretty symmetric, which we saw in histogram to start with anyway. Okay, so now we do density plots. So once again, we got two divisions here, this and that, we can side by side. So this is our first density plot, second density plot. Let's just plot these ones again, run it, and there we are. This is normal and this is not. Now we're going to do one more plotting, which is QQ plots. What are QQ plots? Well, a QQ plot really is, let's suppose you have a normal distribution. You think you have a normal distribution. Okay, you're not sure. Suppose the mean of that is 80 and sigma is 10. But all you have a bunch of numbers. Okay. How do we check if it's a normal distribution or not? Well, what if suppose you generate a normal distribution randomly with mean 80 and sigma 10. So now you got two sets of numbers. Your original data that you have and a random distribution, same parameters, 80, 10, 80, 10. When you plot them together, if they match straight line, then your data matches with what you think it is and you're all set. If it's not a straight line, then it's not the case. Try something else. Okay, we're going to check that out in any minute anyway. But because normal distribution is so popular, we have a QQ norm by itself, which means I do not have to worry about generating a set and compare matching with it. So now let's look at again our original set, B1, the bacteria count. What we see is the data is like this way. There's no straight line here at all. Here's a straight line, no relationship at all. But when I do my log transform set, then I get a nice straight line. See all these straight lines here? So this, ignore the red line. Okay, red line is simply to see what you are. Without the red line, what you see is a nice straight line here, which means my data set matches with one created by R, which has the same parameters, which is mean and standard deviation. So this is it. We can simply say now that our data set has been transformed. It's a normal distribution now, and now we can work with it. But once you get the results, as I've said about 20,000 times already, you got to convert it back to original numbers. That's our next video, and regression and logistic regression. So now just to show you, here I have QQ plot. Now QQ plot is generic function. You can do a bunch of things with QQ plot. QQ norm is only for normal distribution. So what I'm going to do here is generate 200 normal distribution numbers whose mean is same as the mean of my data set transformed, and standard deviation is same as this one. So let's look at now this one and plot it. There we are. Now these are random numbers generated by R. It's supposed to be normal, and that's how it is. I mean, you never get the real normal things. Okay, so that's how we get. Now will these numbers match with our numbers? That's the question. If they match, then our distribution, our data set is normally distributed with mean that one, standard deviation that one. If they don't match, then it is not. And as you all have seen it, it is. Run it, and there we are. Now, if you think your data is exponentially distributed, you can use QQ plot, put your data set, and generate one exponential distribution with the same parameters. If you think it's a binomial distribution, do the same thing. So it's a nice way to check out what you think it is. And this is it for my video today.